I think that there is a very interesting moment of truth coming to markets in the last week or so, and you can see it in a number of areas. First of all, the Fed, where there's obviously a very active, open debate going on now as to what the future direction of monetary policy is. And it's actually got nothing to do with the economy. So the economy is sort of staggering along. We're getting some slightly stronger data, some slightly weaker data. Generally the trend, if anything, is a little softer. But why is the Fed talking about monetary policy? Why are there such divergent views? And I think the point here is that the Fed are realizing that softer and softer monetary policy, the next direction would be, let's say, maybe even negative interest rates. If you look around the world, it just doesn't seem to work. So the Fed are debating whether actually they need to normalize monetary policy or have a completely different direction. Normalizing would be, guess what, higher rates. And the bond market is very clearly following that. It's about the ECB.
I'd love to just add to that actually, because actually if you look at if you think about the international monetary system we run today, it's either actual inflation targeting or proxy inflation targeting if you're the Fed. And what's interesting is we've been running this since the early 90s, but on average every 40 years the international monetary system changes. Now, this one actually began in the end of Bretton Woods, 71, 73. We're 45 years old. I think the system is tired. I would agree with Stephen if that's what he's saying. It's not working, it's not effective. We've clearly reached the limits of it. So I think the comment we at the end of monetary policy's effectiveness, I would take one step further. We need a new international monetary system.
Will the current list of characters, the Kurodas, the Draghis of this world, will they appreciate what appears to be being told to them and reverse policy on their own, or actually does it need a new cast of characters? Because I can't see anything from the language of Mr. Kuroda and Mr. Draghi, and others to be fair, that says that they are anywhere near prepared to throw the towel in on current policy.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, the debate hasn't been played out yet in the ECB, for instance. There was a sort of pause last week. They've got technical issues. In other words, they've got a shortage of bonds, and they're already at negative interest rates. So we are at minus 40 basis points. And guess what's happened to Italian banks? They've all been, Italian banks, not the European banks, the share price has been destroyed, and there's been a lot less lending. So if you want to see action in, there it is. It doesn't seem to be working. But your question is, will there be a sudden about volte-face and there'll be a completely different direction of monetary policy just like that? I think the answer is no. It's going to take a long, long time and possibly new faces. We will see. But
or a crisis is the sort of thing that may change direction.